Hi there, my name is Kobe Kingsrod, and a week ago or so I got new glasses so I can see. Hooray! Um, anyway, I'm in my living room right now, and I thought that I would make a video talking about something that I actually just posted to Instagram, but I wanted to sort of elaborate on it and just let my mind go places. And I also wanted to upload a video on this channel because I haven't in a bit over a week, so I thought it was time. So I hope you enjoy the sort of rambly thing. So what I just posted to Instagram was about me growing up and growing old, which I personally think of as two different things. When I think of growing up, I think of the years ahead of me now, like quitting school, going to uni, um, and finding a place to live, finding out how to operate a washing machine, paying my own bills, stuff like that. While growing old, I see as just in your older days. And one of them I, in fact, sort of look forward to. The other one I'm dreading, and that is what comes first. I'm scared of growing up, but I think that's quite normal. It is nerve-wracking to enter adulthood and do something that you've never ever done before and figure out how to go about things and create your own life. I actually had a conversation with my my teacher about this the other day. Um, when you're in school, I very much appreciate my existence at school. My school is also very nice. I've never been the type of person to hate school. Rather, I've actually always really liked school. Both like the subjects, some are less interesting than others, but in general, I usually like the subjects, but also because of the people there. I've never really had a lot of friends at school, but I have been so lucky to have always had very, very nice teachers, and in secondary especially, they were sort of the reason why I stayed alive and kept going every day, because they were my biggest support network. So teachers have always meant a lot to me, and so I really like school also because it's very much routine based. I know where I'm going every day. I know what I'm doing every day. Sometimes it can feel a bit frustrating to feel like I'm just doing the same thing and that I'm stuck in a loop, but at the same time, it feels very safe to kind of have that framework, if that's the correct wording. It's just scheduled. I know where I'm going. I know what's happening. I know what I'm doing. And that's also another reason why I get up in the morning, because there is something to get me out of bed, because I know I'm going somewhere and I'm doing something specific. But soon, actually in a year and a half, I have to create my own routine and my own life, and I need to figure out what to study at uni and where to study and where to live and what to do. I don't like uni's different because you don't have classes to fill every single day, so I need to figure out things to do on the side, and I get bored. Whenever I'm bored, I have an existential crisis, and that happens now when I get home when I get home from school at 4 p.m. If I don't have any homework or any exams to prepare for, I just sit there and have an existential crisis, and I'm like, what is my life? What am I doing with my life? Why am I alive? Because I have nothing to distract me, and I'm like, the rest of this day is so long. Every day is like this. What can I do to fill this empty space? And why is there an empty space? Like, my life, life doesn't have any meaning. All the meaning we make is just, it's an illusion. And life is pointless. Which, that, It's not wrong if I say that it's pointless. You just have to kind of create that meaning for yourself. And that is very much valid, I think, because you're the one feeling your emotion. So if it's meaningful to you, then it is meaningful. And that's kind of the yeah, whatever. That's not the point. But when I have a lot of free time, I sort of freak out, and I'm kind of bad at creating a schedule for myself. But in the future, I will have to do that, and that is very scary. I'm not really worried about what to study at uni. Well, I am worried about finding something to study because I don't know yet what I want to study. But I'm not scared of studying the wrong thing because I've kind of grown up with the kind of view on what I experience that goes like, if I do something and don't continue on it, then it's not wasted time, it's just an experience. And I personally think that every experience is valuable because you can learn from it, and that's kind of what shapes you as a person. So it's not like if I start studying something and I figure out that this is not for me, that I'm going to freak out and be like, oh my god, I've wasted years of my life. Because then I'll go on to study something else, and then I have that experience. But I'm scared of being lonely. I'm not a very outgoing person. And it will be more difficult to make friends because you're not forced into a tiny classroom with the same people every day for like 3 years. And it's going to be difficult for me, I think, to create my own schedule. I think that life will very much seem pointless to me then because I have so much free time and my life will very much be in my own hands. So that I'm very worried about. But when it comes to growing old, I'm not worried. I'm really not worried about growing old. I'm rather very much looking forward to it. Not particularly like balding and stuff like that, although, you know, it's part of life, whatever. But I'm excited to get to a place in my life where I have experienced a lot and I've learnt a lot, and I kind of have this rough idea of what I want my older self to be after a life of if the light from this way just changed to blue, then it was my TV. But what was I saying? Oh god, I have really short attention span. I was talking about being old. I don't know. I'm just excited to get to a place where I've experienced a lot and learnt a lot. I hope to be someone, and I hope to be a man in the future who is calm and wise and content with his life, and it's just I can kind of see it. It's just kind of the person that I very much want to be one day. I see some people now who I just admire, honestly. Like my grandfather, although I think I will be very different to him when I'm his age. I've always very much looked up to him because he's always been a great storyteller, and he's the most nostalgic person I know, and he has so many weird things in his home from when he was young, and it's always fascinated me, but especially like the storyteller part of him I've always very much admired, and I just loved hearing him tell stories from when he was young or that he has heard when I was little. It was one of my favorite things, and I kind of want to be that type of person. Another thing that I'm sort of worried about is that my teachers, as I mentioned earlier, they mean a lot to me and they are very important to me, and they always have been throughout my life. I've always gravitated towards older people because I found them much easier to talk to. And I know that a lot of people have had very different experiences with adults, which I definitely think is a shame, because my experiences have been very good, and I wish everyone had supportive adults in their lives. But as I grow older, the dynamic that I have with adults, it changes. One day I will no longer be a student and an aspiring human that an adult is talking to. And I like that dynamic. Maybe that will change as I grow older, but I very much like talking to someone older than me and then being aware that I am younger than them, but not in the sense that they sort of talk down to me and talk to me like I am dumb. I absolutely hate that, like I don't understand things. That is one of the, like that, it frustrates me so much, but just kind of that, I feel very calm in those moments. Maybe it has to do with me being worried about the future, and sometimes adults can talk me out of that and sort of calm me down. So that's what my good experiences are tied to, that whenever I do talk to an adult, it makes me, well, not whenever, but sometimes it makes me feel very happy, or calmer maybe. But I don't want to lose that, because I very much value that. And I'm wondering what the equivalent of that will be when I'm that age myself. Like, will I talk to elderly people? Or will I be that to someone else, to some kid, which would be an honor to be to a child what my teachers have been to me. But I'm scared I wouldn't do a very good job. But I don't know that yet, because I'm not that old yet. I think I'm very much aware that I have a lot of room to grow. I want to grow into myself more, and I think that will happen eventually. I think that as you grow older, you kind of stop caring as much. Like, if you look at older ladies compared to younger ladies, young women, girls my age, pretty self-conscious, don't want to come off the wrong way, generally, while older ladies, they also generally are pretty out there, are pretty sassy, at least in my experience. That's certainly not always the case, but I find that kind of funny. So, yeah, and no one's ever the same as when they were 17 anyway, but I think I'm just quite self-conscious about being a teenager, and about having all of this room to grow and all of this room to mature, because I am very much like conscious of that, like things I see in my behavior or my personality that I'm like, Cove, you're acting like a teenager. And I think I should give myself a break, because when you are at the peak of teenagehood, I think you should be allowed to act like a teenager sometimes. It's just what is expected. And then maybe as you grow older, acting more mature will come naturally. Not that I'm very worried about seeming mature or not, because I think that having that sort of childish and playful side to you, if you will, is very important. And I don't ever want to become like a boring adult. When I'm old, to be frank, I don't want to be what I am now. I hope to be this, as I mentioned earlier, this calm, content person. If we're going more into specifics, I don't see myself having a family, and that is something that might change in the future, but right now I don't see that for me. I don't see myself having a wife or a husband or a spouse. In general, I've never really wanted to get married. I don't see myself having kids. Maybe potentially one day I will find out, or I will figure out it's a good idea to adopt a child, or like do a foster home thing or something, but it's not really something that I think about right now. I picture myself as someone who will live alone with a dog or a cat. Maybe I'll turn into a cat person one day. In a sweet little flat somewhere, maybe. And just, like, sit there and watch the people on the streets as I'm having my morning coffee. And just feel calm and content with life. And I think that my job will be very important to me, especially if I'm working with people, which I really want to do. I don't know what yet that I want to do, but I do want to work with people. Because I feel like that's for me, it's very valuable in a sense, and it's very giving in terms of like learning things from other people and feeling things and experiencing things. I find humans very interesting and challenging, but certainly interesting. I just think overall, when I grow old, I don't want to feel the same existential, not dread, but existential anxiety that I feel right now. I'm always very worried about life being pointless, and then I feel pointless, and I feel like there's no reason to be here, and when I feel like there's no reason to be here, I feel like there's no reason to do anything, and then I sort of like space out, and I just overthink everything, and I don't want that when I'm older. I want to just accept that right now I'm living, and I'm fully okay with that, and that I'll just be calm. Yes. I'm sure there will be things that I forgot to say in this video that I'll remember later, and I'll be like, oh shoot, why didn't I say that? Or why did I say this in a complicated way? Or why did I make that mistake as I talked? I don't know. English is not my first language, by the way, if you didn't already know. But I think I'm going to go now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know your thoughts on what you want to be when you grow up, or what you don't want to be. If you have any fears about growing old or growing up, what you may be excited about, or just your thoughts on it in general. And if you are an older person, then please comment your experiences. If you have any words of advice for me, I always really appreciate getting comments from older people. Not that I don't like talking to people in my own age group. I find it, I'm always very honored when I find that older people find me interesting, because you'd think we're different because I'm a lot younger, but I really appreciate that. So please do that if that's relevant to you, if that applies to you, only if you want, of course. Yeah, I hope you had a brilliant week, and I hope you have an even more brilliant weekend and next week. And stay safe and eat, drink, and do not hurt yourselves. And remember that you are so much more than you can ever realize. Seriously, as always. And take care of yourself, stay kind to yourself and others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Thank you for watching.